Hello, everybody, and welcome. It's been a while since I've live streamed, so I figured might as well live stream today. We're going to do some tarot decks and oracle cards. You may have seen them in the past or not. Who knows? I've got a whole bunch of them. Plus, I have some witchy reads. I have a few like springtime cards and springtime reads. So if you're more of like a green witch or if you enjoy like gardening, we're kind of getting there pretty fast. So yes. First and foremost, though, before I begin today, we have a bunch of our tech stuff in the very, very beginning of the carousel. So if you go over to our, let me get all the banners. So if you go over to our Amazon page, you'll see a carousel there, and you can see all of the items that I'm featuring, and that's a lot easier for you. So if there's something that you really are interested in, you can actually find it over there. So first, though, in the very beginning of the carousel, we do have a ton of all the technical stuff that I do use. So I have my Blue Yeti mic, which is 31% off today. It is $89.99. Pretty good deal. Honestly, I'm shocked. Usually these guys don't go on sale except for Black Friday. And I love that we're seeing more tech stuff going on sale. Maybe they're going to do another Blue Yeti series. Hello, R. Robinson. Thanks for joining me and thanks for commenting. If you have any questions, let me know. The next techie thing that I have before I get into some oracle cards and witchy books is my Elgato face cam. So we've been using Carrie, my co-host, uses the Logitech and I use Elgato, and both of them are really great cameras. I think the Elgato face cam, unfortunately, is not on sale. It's $150, which doesn't surprise me because that one for sure only goes on sale usually Black Friday, but it's a great camera. So if you are wanting it, sometimes there's random sales. I would put it on your wish list and then it'll notify you when it does go on sale. Okay. So the first thing I want to talk about today, we have these awesome Seasons of the Witch cards. They're all the ones that I have are lined up here. The only one I don't have, I believe, is the Yule. I think Carrie has that one somewhere. So I have the first one, Beltane. I believe Beltane is the one that's coming up. Well, wait, I might be wrong. Did Imbolc already happen? I don't think it did. I could be wrong. Oh, I'm getting everything all mixed up. Anyway, so Beltane. This is one of my favorite ones. And I just realized I think my camera is all backwards, isn't it? You're seeing the backwards version of everything. No, that's okay. Anyway, so hopefully it doesn't bother you guys. So we have Seasons of the Witch. This is the Beltane Oracle. It's actually bothering me. It's weird having it actually going the mirrored way. Maybe I need to fix that real fast. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. Anyway, maybe I'll just keep going. Sorry about that. It's been a while since I've live streamed and my camera has decided to auto correct or do their own thing for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, thank you, R. Robinson, for yes, you're right. Imbolc was February 1st. I'm so sorry. My brain is like not functioning very well lately. We got a new mattress and it's not very good. So we're gonna return it. Anyway, so here's the first Seasons of the Witch that I'm gonna show to you first. I love the Beltane deck personally because a lot of the themes are bees. So you see it's got this beautiful honey yellow for the cover here, the shine, and the gold foil. It's really cool. And the back of the cards too are bumblebees. So all of the Seasons of the Witch, let me grab one more to kind of show you. I'll grab the Samhain one just because it's dark versus Beltane is like the opposite. So Samhain has this sort of theme, and then Beltane, has this. So you can see they're very similar, and that's how all of the Seasons of the Witch decks are, is they have very similar themes, but this one's got a red color theme. It's got spooky hands, and then this one's more bees and gold and honey and, renewal and rejuvenation. So that's pretty sweet. This one is $24.84. The actual deck too. So inside the guidebook, there are different spreads here as well that are all associated with Beltane. So you can ask questions or do certain activities or rituals that are all associated with Beltane. So for instance, we have the maypole, we have self-worship, there's a goddess spread, and then we have a Celtic cross spread for every single one of the Seasons of the Witch oracle decks, but they ask different questions that are associated with the particular celebration and holiday. So let me show you the actual cards themselves. I have to filter some of these out because there is nudity on some of these cards. So first we have Chant. We have, nope, can't do that one. We have Phoenix, perfect card for Beltane, of course. Fertilizing, so I love all of the, it's a lot of gold and green, and there is some red in here too. Wow, of course, everything in the front. Bees, of course, super pretty. So the style of all of these cards too, and I'll show you, they are, I believe, the same artist, or there's repeating artists, or the artists have very similar styles. I'm pretty sure the Samhain oracle deck is the same as, I think, the Imbolc deck, but I could be wrong. All right, we have Morning Dew. So very beautiful cards. These are really, really great if you do like to do different readings for the holidays and celebrations. So this one, this is a cool card, this Inner Power. And then I will go through these a lot quicker, the other ones, but just so you're aware, if you like doing big, long spreads, I know I do. Sometimes I don't like to be disrupted and I hate looking through the book. It's nice to have this small little text on the bottom so you can kind of get a small, short answer and continue your reading if you wanted to. So that's pretty nice. So that's for all of the Seasons of the Witch cards. So this one is the Beltane. I'm going to move on and show you the Samhain deck. That's probably the most popular oracle deck as far as the Seasons of the Witch goes. My personal favorite is the Mabon deck, but Imbolc is actually kind of, I don't know, it's a cool, that one's a really cool aesthetic too. So Samhain, this one is on sale, 23% off, $19.30. So again, if you weren't here before on our live stream, this is the back of the cards. So it's got a red theme. Even the edges are red and shiny. And, oh, let me find the cover here. The cover is also red and shiny. So you can see a theme. Here, let me show you Intuition. These are definitely spookier cards, a different art style. Sorry about my ring light. And I'm sorry that it is mirrored. I got to fix that. I'll try to do that for my next live stream. I got to figure out what's going on with my camera. Candle Magic. We have Broom. So definitely more gothic, spooky, altar, skulls. There's definitely more just like black, red, gray. Not a ton of color on a lot of these cards. I think this one might have the most color. Let's see. We have Haunted. I'll do a few more cards so you can kind of get the gist. I mean, I'm sure you do. We have Graveyard, of course. Frog. So just like the Beltane deck, there are questions that are associated with Samhain. They have different spreads in here as well. There's like I think there's a Graveyard spread, the Spiritual Council spread. We have here Interview Your Deck spread, Graveyard spread. So lots of cool stuff in here with questions that are all associated with the season of Samhain. Most people are kind of going inward. People are reclusing into their homes. There's a lot of interesting questions you can ask. All right, so the next one, though, because I have two more Seasons of the Witch, we have Mabon. So let me put these two away, and then I will show you Mabon and Imbolc, and then we'll move on to some other decks. I'm sure you're like, I don't care about Seasons of the Witch. I've seen it all already. Anyway, so we have Mabon. This one's on sale, $26. Or sorry, 26% off, $18.46 today. This one's my personal favorite because I love fall, but I love the colors that they use in this one. So here we go. Love it. Again, we have the Mabon spreads in here, which is very cute, like the falling leaves. There's a molasses spread, I believe, in here. Yep. Darkness Falls spread. And all of these questions are going to be associated with Mabon. elderberry spread. Here is what the back of this one looks like. You can see the shine. It's an orange themed oracle deck. So the sides are going to be orange, which is very cool too. So here are some cards. We have the Witch's Gathering. Super cute. I love the different style of witches. It looks like you have, you know, we have an Imbolc witch, a Samhain witch. Very cute. Molasses. Lots of baking happening in the fall. So the themes of this one are definitely more browns, more earthy tones, reds, but definitely like darker versions. So more on the burnt umber kind of feel. There are some blacks in here too for a color aesthetic. Haunted House. We have here, oh, I keep flipping these the wrong way. We have a Breathwork card. This is very pretty. Autumn Equinox. Ooh, Apple of My Eye. Super pretty. We also have here the Foraging card. So this is a really great fall cottagecore kind of oracle deck if that's what you're looking for. I highly recommend it. This one is the Mabon oracle deck. Love the art. So beautiful. And then I'm going to move on to the Imbolc deck now. So the last one that I personally have of the Seasons of the Witch. Let me find it in my carousel real fast. I like that I didn't put that one in order. I also have to turn my phone settings to something different. So the Imbolc deck is really cool too. I was shocked. I'm not usually a winter, even though I'm a winter baby, I'm not like a huge fan of winter time, or unless if it's snowing. It seems like that's the only time where I'm like, oh, that'd be really cool. So this one though kind of shocked me. I'm not a huge fan usually of like the blues or even like the kind of, I don't know, the snow fairy look, but this one I'm really digging. So this one's 10% off, $22.46. You can see blue is going to be the theme, or an icy blue for this one. So here's what the actual back of the cards look like. Love this too. Very pretty. The light and the dark. And then here's the edges of the cards, a shiny, beautiful blue. So let's look at this together. Again, we have a very cool different spreads in here. The Aquarius spread, of course. We have the candle dressing spread, sacred space spread. So those are all the things that you can do for Imbolc, self-ceremony spread. And all the questions are going to be associated with the celebration of Imbolc. So here is what they look like. We have Dream Realm. Super, I mean, honestly, these cards are really, really beautiful too. Forged in Fire. I feel like every year everything gets better and better. We have Garlic. I'm not sure why that has to do with Imbolc, but I'm here for Garlic. House Mouse. Isn't that cute? I like the creepy hand over the book too. We have Milk Moon Witch. Super pretty. The Black Bear. Just some very unique imagery in here. Brigid, Colning, Keening, Incense. I'll do a few more so you can kind of get the gist here. Greenhouse. We can still have some life going on in our little world. And Dawn, and one more, Peppermint. So you can see beautiful cards, perfect wintry deck. So if you're looking for some, I know that actually there's a ton of fall oracle decks or tarot card decks because, I mean, we love fall. But I don't see a ton of wintertime decks. So I like this one because it really allows you to have that beautiful, magical aesthetic but it's still very wintry. It's very much frozen, but better. I don't know. I really like it. So this is the Seasons of the Witch, the Imbolc deck. I'm really digging this one too. I really wished I carved myself some time to actually, go through that one during Imbolc. All right. So let me show you a couple books. So if you're a new witch or not, actually. It doesn't matter if you're new or not. This book, so again, I'm so sorry about the reversal. What is happening? I hate that we've got this like, I did it. I did it. That was so easy. Okay, so here is a book that I have been dying to read, and I need to carve out some time to do this. It is The Witching Year. So this is by Diana Helmuth. I like this book because I have been a part of numerous witchy communities myself. I have experimented, and I personally like how I like to do things is I think it's a personal practice, and I try not to tell people what to do because I'm just not down for that. So this book talks about some of the issues that Diana's experienced in the witchy communities. She's experimented with different kinds of witchy communities, different kinds of spell work, different things that might have worked for her, things that didn't work for her. And it's kind of this really fun introduction to the witchy world a little bit. And it does talk about some things like gatekeeping. There is a lot of gatekeeping. But then there's other things too about encouraging you to, experiment, and what works for you is going to be great because that's kind of the whole point. This is a really cute memoir. I recommend it. I've been meaning to dive into this myself. It looks really fun, and everything is actually, written out in a really fun way. So check it out. If you're looking for some kind of nonfiction and memoir, but still in the witchy area, this would be a really great one. Plus it's 50% off, so $13. Pretty good deal, in my opinion. So check this one out. All right, so one of the oracle decks I wanted to show you today that I didn't actually get a chance to put on my shelf. I really love this one. I have to filter it. There is some nudity in the illustrations, but this is a smaller artist, and I'm all about supporting artists here. So this is the Laputan Oracle. So the illustrator is, I think it's Alice Mostroloio. Sorry, it's an Italian artist. So we have here, the guidebook is pretty simple, but it's in a ton of different languages. So we have Italian, English, I think German, and French. So if you do speak a different language, this is really helpful, but the art itself is beautiful. So here's the back of the cards. There's only around 35-ish cards in this particular oracle deck, but it's really beautiful, and you're supporting a small business, which is another thing that's really important. So here's a card. It just has numbers here. The actual, or you'll have to go side by side with the guidebook. So if it's number 33, that one was called Prosperity. I wish that they did have a title there, but I understand. So Prosperity 33, and there's just a regular, no upright, no reversal reading, just straight up, this is what you get. Daniel Sprouse over on YouTube. Hello, thank you for commenting. Have you seen the Wandering Star Tarot? It's designed by Catherine Pierce of the band The Pierces. Sweet artwork. No, I haven't. I'll have to check that out. Thank you for commenting, because I'm going to have to, I'm glad you commented, because I need to look it up and I will forget. So thank you. I'm going to check that out. We haven't actually had an opportunity to check out some of the new, I don't know if it's new, but some of the newer tarot oracle cards that are coming out in 2024. That's something I should probably do, is create a list. But yeah, I'm looking for some new cards this year for sure. All right, so again, I have to just remind you, the Laputan Oracle deck, there is a lot of nudity in this particular card, or this Oracle deck, but I'm going to try to show you some images here. So just bear with me, because some of these I can't over on Amazon Live. On YouTube, I wouldn't care. So this is the cover, obviously, but beautiful artwork. One of my favorites, honestly. Another one. I think it's covered enough. It's enough. All right, so this, not enough. Sorry, again, trying to censor. Here we go. Cute. So the Laputan artist, if you go find them over on Instagram, or I think they might even have Facebook, they do a lot of imagery with wolves and skulls And I think she's got a character that she kind of uses a lot in a lot of her work. Here's another one. I think we're good. This one's beautiful. And I think a lot of her work is watercolor or gouache. So that's another cool thing. I'll show a few more. I love these giant wolves or foxes that she has drawn. Super cool. And one more here. So it's definitely got like an anime-esque style, but I believe she is an Italian artist. So she's got definitely her own thing. So support a small business by trying or checking out the Laputan Oracle. She gives us at least one spread that she uses. It's called the spiral spread in here, but you have to read through it. There's no photos or pictures or anything, and you have to match everything. So, but again, it's a small artist. So check this one out. I love it. It's one of my favorites. I do it for single card reads a lot. I do single card reads often, probably the most, because I just feel like I'm busy all the time. Okay, the next one I want to share with you is another small artist or small business that everybody should support. It is the Tarot of the Divine by Yoshi Yoshitani. This is an amazing, amazing artist. So this particular tarot deck is actually what she's done. Here's the back, by the way. They're made with a really nice high quality canvas. So she has basically created every single card is from a story from around the world or a legend. So for instance, from everywhere. So Cambodia, Denmark, Mexico, Denmark again. But we have a small description of the story itself, like La Llorona from Mexico, Mexican folklore. We get a small thing. The Five of Cups is useless regret without learning. Jealous of her husband's new wife, La Llorona drowns her own children, and now her wailing ghost wanders the earth. So we get a small glimpse into the myth. So you can actually jump and study these myths yourself if you are interested in them. And we have a very short upright and reversal description of these, which is pretty great. So it doesn't tell you what you're supposed to feel. Sometimes I think some oracle decks or some tarot card decks they might be a little too wordy, but it depends on your mood. So if you're somebody that likes it sweet and short, check this one out. Every page has a beautiful full color photo, and her art style is really, really unique. It's recognizable. And something I forgot to mention, and I wasn't able to find it before this live stream, there is a book associated with this particular oracle deck. You can find it, I think, in my shop, but it's called Beneath the Moon. And it has a full description of all of these myths in here and a full page photo. So I highly recommend it. So let's look at these cards real fast. Here we have the Tower. Super beautiful. You can see that canvas here on my camera, I'm hoping. Clearly that's Rapunzel. Here we have the King of Wands. This looks like it's probably an Indian myth here. We have Queen of Wands. Is that Pele? The Fool. Is that Little Mermaid? I could guess. I can guess all of these, I think. King of Cups. So you can see all kinds of myths. I really, really like this deck. It's really, really pretty. And I've learned a lot, actually. Like, I've learned a lot about different cultures, different stories, like things that I've never heard from before. And with the book alongside this tarot card, not oracle deck, tarot card deck, it's been really, really inspiring, at least for me. So check this one out if you love world mythology and you love stories, folk tales, and if you love, obviously, if you love tarot cards, this is perfect. Here we have the Anansi brothers. So check it out. This is by Yoshi Yoshitani, and you're supporting another small business by supporting this particular oracle deck too. And it's 40% off, $11.95 today. Okay, just so you know, here it is. All right, let's move on to a book. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, actually, let me show you this candle first, just because. Another small business. apparently I really like small businesses. Anyway, so this is the Malicious Women's Company, candle company. Yes, I know there's a swear word. I apologize. Anyway, so they have horoscope candles. This one's Capricorn. I am a Capricorn. Yes, you can give me all the crap you want. It's fine. Anyway, so we have earth signs, air signs, water signs. They all have, so all the earth signs have the same scent, but you can get like Capricorn or Taurus, whatever, on the candle itself. So it makes a great birthday gift. And honestly, this scent is really, really unique and it's really nice. It's got like floral, earthy tones, but it's got like this fruity, musky thing going on too. And it doesn't say, at least here, I have tried to look up what exactly is in here as far as the fragrance goes, but I haven't been able to find it. It's just really nice. So I kind of like these. If you have friends who are really into astrology, it would be a really great gift. Or even for yourself, if you're like, I want to feel my Capricorn energy, you totally can, or Scorpio or whatever. So check these ones out and this company. It's really fun. They have some irreverent candles, but I dig that stuff. So it's perfect for people like me. Check this out. It's pretty fun. And I personally like it. It's also a small business and it's local, at least to me, in Seattle. And it's only $20 for a pretty good candle. I mean, I've been lighting this for weeks and weeks and weeks, almost every day. All right. So my next thing I want to share is the Green Witch's Book. I hope I can do something like this year. I've been wanting to for such a long time. Okay. This is so cool. So it's your complete guide to creating and cultivating a magical garden. So I don't know. It's one way to get us outside and try something new. So it is a pretty wordy, but there are some photos I want to show you and maybe you'll get a little inspired. So not only does it talk about gardening, plants, spell work with plants, but there's a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of inspiration here. For instance, there is, let me find it. Come here, I just saw it. Okay, so you can make maybe your own element garden. So you see here, we've got water, we've got air, so all of these have different things. You could do a box or a circular. That would be so cool to do, is a whole circular garden like that. And it gives you tips and tricks on like what kind of plants have those sorts of elemental energies and which plants actually work together in a garden. But this is stuff that would be really fun, is creating your own themed garden. Like this one is a moon garden. That would be so cool, right? Not all of us have the capabilities of having a garden like this. I totally get that. You can do a small version of that maybe in your windowsill. And it does talk about all of the different plants associated. So you might not be able to do something huge. Understandable. I cannot either, but it would be really cool to do like a few things in your house, even like little potted plants that are like nighttime gardens or element gardens. This one's an astrological garden, so you can find things that are actually associated with your sign, which is kind of fun too. But keep in mind some of these plants, they're annuals or perennial, so keep that in mind too, and space and all of that fun stuff. But something that's cool too, as far as illustrations and the whole book goes, we talk about things like succulents. So again, I have so many succulents. I don't know what happened. I didn't think I'd be a succulent queen, but apparently I am. I love all of these cute little cactus plants. So you can find different plants that work for you and your space and the things that might give certain magical properties. There are some illustrations in here so you can actually see what things look like. For instance, maybe you're somebody that really wants to do an herb garden, not just for cooking, but also for spell work or spell jars or making your own, you can do your own sage sticks, but there's a whole bunch of you can do so many things with it. So it talks about the magical properties, but also just all of the things, how to actually grow the plant. This is like a dual book where you can actually do the magical bits and the technical bits at the same time. It's not just telling you, oh yes, here, this plant will give you confidence and it'll, provide some sort of like monetary benefit for you or protection. There's also like, here's how you water the plant. So I kind of enjoy those bits too. And I like the illustrations in here. You can do making your own garden too, how to actually make it prosperous and grow really well. There's even things like ground cover. It talks about all of the different aspects of your garden. Maybe there's plants already in your yard or around you. You can, maybe you don't even need a actual garden. Maybe there's a park and you have like a place and a certain plant / tree you really associate with. There's a lot of cool stuff in here. And it talks about how you can use your garden, caring for your garden, and spring is coming. What you can use from these gardens. You can make wreaths. You can make food, incense, oils. There's so many uses for your garden. So check this out. This is the Green Witch's Garden. I personally like it. Right now it's 24% off, $13.59, and I'm just really pumped. I really am. All right, so the next card or oracle deck I'm going to talk about. Oh no, is this one out? This one was not out of stock today. So let me just do this real fast. This is the Citadel Fantasy Oracle. If you're a writer, this is really fun. Or if you like D&D campaigns, I'll go through this super fast. Definitely put it on your wish list. So you can see here, we have a box in a box. I actually like the inside too. Here we have our guidebook. And here are the cards. They are in a really cool shape, like little gems. This is what the art looks like. We have this beautiful, it's not gold. I don't know. It might be even like a rose gold color. I'm not sure if it's copper or rose gold. I tend to get those kind of mixed up a lot. So I'm losing my voice. So kind of the point of this particular deck is there is an upright reversal reading for these, but the very beginning in the introduction of every single card, these are all characters that you can incorporate into a story. You can maybe even mix something up if you're trying to come up with a short writing prompt and you're like, I don't know what kind of character I want to make. You can actually draw from this particular deck and maybe get inspiration for something like the Wise One. What does the Wise One look like? How does the Wise One get introduced in your story? So it's very cool. The actual spreads are really fun too. They have a whole element spread or building your own citadel. So you have like your troop, your royal court, and all of these characters are comprising all of those bits. And you can create your own citadel, either that's like through writing or spiritually. It's a pretty long process. I think it's around 12 to 15 cards for that. But this is a really cool oracle deck. I really enjoy it. Simple, beautiful art. Fez Inkwright has a lot of really great stuff. So check this one out. I know it might not be available right now on Amazon. It literally just was. I just put it on there. But check it out if you're looking for something that inspires you to write, make characters, or if you just really enjoy this this art style. It's beautiful. I like it quite a bit. Okay, so the next the next tarot card deck I want to talk about is the Buffy the Vampire Slayer tarot card deck because I love Buffy. Here we go. I love the actual color. I don't think my camera is doing this justice. It is like very, very hot pink and purple and gold. It's pretty great. Here is what the book looks like. And here's the back of the cards. Beautiful back of the cards. I love the art style too. It's very Buffy. This is by Insight Editions, who does a ton of pop culture tarot cards and oracle decks. You can find Marvel, like I said, Buffy. There's Hocus Pocus, Alice in Wonderland, lots of Disney. So if you love tarot cards or oracle decks or witchy stuff, but pop culture too, it's a great mix, and they make great gift options too. So like if you know somebody who loves Buffy and is a super witchy, this would be a really awesome gift. And it's only $25. Perfect gift. They'll use it for a lifetime. So first of all, we have the major arcana. All have giant full spread color photos, which is pretty sweet. The minor arcana has a smaller version with an upright and reversal reading, which is pretty nice. It is a little more wordy, but that's okay. Let me show you the actual cards. We have, of course, the Hanged Man. How fun. Chalices. So there's different inside editions. One thing that's also very fun is that they tend to change the suits to match the theme of the card. Oh, we have the Fool. So we have pentacles, we had chalices, but we also have here, let me see if I can find it, scythes. And we also have, let me find the other one. I'm sure you guys can guess what the other suit would possibly be for a Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's stakes. Of course it is. So that's a pretty fun thing. A lot of these are scenes from the show. You'll recognize a lot of characters and scenes, of course. And some of these characters, like I haven't watched Buffy in, I think, probably a decade, and I feel horrible saying that. It's definitely been around a decade. And some of these scenes, I'm like, I don't remember that at all. So I have to go back and actually watch the show. But it's a pretty great tarot card deck, in my opinion. I really enjoy it. It's really cute and a lot of fun. I think Buffy is going to have a comeback pretty soon because everything is having one, and Buffy's due, in my opinion. So check this one out if you love Buffy. This is the Buffy the Vampire Slayer tarot card deck. This is by Inside Editions, and it's 10% off right now, so around $25. Let me move on to another tarot card deck. I also have to sip some coffee. I apologize. Oh my God, it's my favorite person, Sean Jones. Sean, I have a really horrible memory, and I do forget about Buffy. I forget about everything. I forget like what I did yesterday. It's pretty bad. Okay, how are you, Sean? What have you been up to? It's been a very long time. I haven't live streamed on this one in a while. Okay, so the next thing I want to share with you guys is this cool Magica book. So if you know somebody who is wanting to get into witchy stuff, maybe it's you, but you don't know where to start and you're just really curious about the whole thing, this is a cool book. It's kind of great just in general. So it's Magica. This is only $20. I love the art in here. So you'll see there's a lot of illustrations in this particular book. So it goes over all of the different kinds of witchy things. And it is fairly, not completely, fairly lightly multicultural. So we have places like, it talks about things like Santeria, Kabbalah, we have Wicca. So different things here. They do touch on that. Not all of it, though. Which is fine. That would be a tome otherwise. So we have different magical spaces. It talks about gems. It talks about the different holidays for Wicca, tarot cards, those meanings, and different tools and this apply. I mean, not everybody, although I give kudos to you if you do use every single tool at your disposal. A lot of people I know are more like, oh, I really like candles and I like tarot cards, but I'm not really into plants. That's fair. So it does talk about almost everything. So it touches on almost everything so that you can be like curious about all of the different aspects and explore even further. But this is a really great stepping stone. So you can see these illustrations are stunning. I personally love it. Here we even have angels. So this is one that I'm not terribly familiar with. I'm only familiar as far as like an anime / manga go, which I'm not going to get into it, but that's how I know about angels. But then we have things here like different celebrations. So Beltane, but what you can do for these celebrations, including recipes to make like food or even making your own candles. Sometimes you can make your own wreaths. This is a Litha party idea. Lammas. Sorry, I think I said Lammas. I don't know. Lammas is like Lammas. I apologize. Anyway, so there's a lot of cool stuff in here. If you are looking to just kind of get a little, just to understand a little bit. Astrology, moon signs, star signs. We have the different tarot cards and their meanings, the history behind tarot too. Really brief though, but I really enjoyed that. So if you are trying to learn about like memorizing what each card actually means without even having to really, you don't have to use the guidebook, that would be so, that's kind of a dream of mine. So if I can pull strength and I know what that means upright, that'd be super cool without going into the book. But I do use the book a lot. And we also have spells in a jar, different amulets, familiars. There's a lot of cool stuff in here. So if you're looking for a kind of a beginner, I mean, honestly, it's anybody. It's a beautiful book that talks about just kind of the basics and fundamentals of Magicka and some of the some of the multicultural applications of that. Not all of them, of course. This would be huge otherwise. So check this one out. This is by Carlota Santos, and they have a Instagram as well with all of their art, and I really appreciate it. It's very cool. All right, Sean, what did you say? Okay, here. It's chilly for us today. It's 72. That's chilly. I wish it was 72. I think it's like 50-ish here. Maybe less. I don't know, actually. I should go check that out. All right, so my next Oracle deck that I want to talk about is the Magical Botanical. This one I was really drawn to. It's very spring-like because it's everything in here is a plant. That sounds so dumb. Anyway, this is a really cool, very unique art style Oracle deck. Let me get into it a little bit. So every card is a little different. The guidebook here is enormous. So there's only like 30 cards in the actual Oracle deck, but the guidebook has a ton of stuff in here, including we have astrology applications, we have different spreads, we have the plant itself, the history of each plant. So let me try to get an actual photo here. It's like holly. Ugh. So we get a full photo here of the actual card, which is very cool. These cards have a lot of beautiful detail, as you can see. We have the planet associations for each card, the element, and the Latin name. Like I said, we have the history, we have the spirit medicine, but again, be careful. Do not use this as actual medicine. It gives you some of those bits in there, but if you are suffering from something, please go to an actual doctor first and talk to them, a professional. There's divination you can use in here and reverse divination. So interesting stuff. Let me show you the cards themselves. I like magical plants and fungi. I do too. I really do. And this particular Oracle deck is really interesting. Here is the cards, the back of the cards themselves. Beautiful card. There is a version of this card that's colored. That's a part of the deck itself. So have to point out there is nudity in this particular Oracle deck, so I can't show this over on Amazon Live. Not all of the cards, so bear with me as I filter everything out. There's quite a bit of nudity. All right, so this is some of these plants I've not heard of or their Latin names, but this is ivy. So you can see lots and lots of detail here. And then some cards cover plants that aren't legal everywhere. We have lavender. Beautiful card. As you can see, it's a little different from the previous card. This is poppy. So not all of the cards have color. Some of them stay black and white. Some of them only feature the flower. Some of them, the people are hidden in the flower. Camellia, yeah, I'm not going to argue with you at all, Sean. I agree, but I can't show them, unfortunately. We have the Love Lies Bleeding, which I don't even know. I've never even heard of that plant before, but apparently it is one. It's a Amaranthus caudatus. Look at me being so Latin. I'm doing so well. Here is the colored version of the back, but apparently this is the Witch's Garden card. Very pretty. This one is Vine. So a lot of these cards, because we're talking about plants, there's a lot of cultural context. So like oak doesn't grow everywhere. So you'll see that some of the elements and some of the themes and just the way that some of these characters are dressed are all associated with the areas and regions that each of these plants are locally known 4, which is really cool too because you get some historical context as well. Henbane, I don't know what that is, but that is a cool card. And then I'll do one more here so you can kind of get the gist. We have you. Oh man, that's interesting. You'll see too on the edge here, here's all of those things that we were talking about. It is a poisonous, I think that means that's poisonous. We also have the planetary signs associated with it. And I thought there should be an element sign, but I'm not seeing an element associated with you. But you'll see a lot of icons on every single one of these cards. So you can kind of do a big reading and do lots of memorizing magical symbols, which is cool. But I really enjoy that particular card oracle deck just because it's unique. I've never seen an art style quite like this on an oracle deck, and I love that it's springtime, or it gives me a lot of springtime feels. It's got a huge comprehensive guidebook that talks about the plants themselves. It's very cool. So the Magical Botanical Oracle, very cool one. Moving forward, let's look at, oh yes, speaking of history, let me talk about this book. I actually probably should just like schedule this on my calendar because it's been so busy. Okay, so we have Pagans, and I've been wanting to read this for so long. I'm so frustrated with myself because this looks very cool. This is 38% off. It's $21.68. So, hello, Richard. Thank you for stopping by. And I love the wilting flower with the black hearts. Those are so cool. Thank you. Very, very, it applies to us. Hold on. I need to drink my coffee. Okay. So Pagans, this is a really cool book. It is a exploration of what it means to be pagan. I just watched this really cool video yesterday, actually, about music specifically and paganism as well, which was a really interesting thing. So I won't go into that. We'll talk about this book. So this is a multicultural book. So we have a lot of illustrations, art, architecture, some pottery, lots of stuff in here that explores what pagan means, the all-inclusive term, which I kind of hate, I'm not going to lie, but it does, it's basically anything that's non-Abrahamic, which is silly in a way. So here we have 3 big chapters. We have ancient ways, ritual, and community. That's how this book is divided. And then we have sub-chapters. We have like goddesses and gods, myths, legends, sacred sites, witchcraft, oracles, divination, festivals. But this is truly multicultural because this talks about places from everywhere. We go from Greece to Egypt to China to the Polynesia. So I like that we have we're covering way more than just the Greeks, the Norse, and the Egyptians. Yes, I am tired of it. So I like that we get a lot of beautiful art as well, that it illustrates the history and shows it's easier to make connections, at least for me, that way. I'm a visual learner, so not only is it great to have the text, but if I have a visual there to help, it's like, oh, there we go. Sean said we're going to the King Tut exhibit. That is so cool. I didn't realize that are they doing another tour again? Because that is, I think the last time I saw the King Tut Museum or exhibit was, oh my God, 15 years ago. It was a long time. That's so cool. I'm excited for you. You'll have to share with us what you think about it. All right, so here we have, wonderful. Here's our Norse, the Wild Hunt famous photo here or painting. I love it. But we get a lot of like actual historical paintings as well, plus our awesome romantics here. So beautiful book, lots of cool stuff here, and it connects a lot of just humanity together, which is a very important aspect to this book. I don't think I can show that, even though it's art. Amazon, you don't know what art looks like. So very cool book if you're wanting to study, at least just lightly dip your toe into what the word pagan means, the applications, and on a multicultural lens versus something that's more Eurocentric, which I feel like that tends to happen a lot. And a lot of really cool connections here between all of the different belief systems, which is really, really fun and very, very enlightening. So definitely check this out if you're looking for something a little more educational and historical with some really cool photos alongside. So this is Pagans, 38% off, $21.68. Ethan Doyle White is the author, and this is by Thames and Hudson, the publisher. Good publisher. All right, so next on my list today, my back hurts. Okay, is going to be, speaking of myth, no, I don't have the actual book. So there is a book that you can get associated with this particular Oracle deck. So right now on Amazon, if you are watching somewhere else, it is highlighted, the Women of Myth book that you can have alongside this. The book just goes into more detail about every single goddess, heroine, or monstrous in this particular Oracle deck. So let me show you the actual deck, though. It is 26% off, $18.48. This has been a really fun Oracle deck to go through and do single card reads personally, because here's our guidebook, by the way. Woo! I almost dropped it. Okay, guidebook, pretty comprehensive. Back of the cards, they look marbly. So I like to do single card draws because if I drew like Medusa, you can see we have a cool green background here. It's a monster, and Medusa is the outcast. So I go into my Oracle book here, go to the monster section. I love the Baba Yaga. She looks so happy in there. It's in alphabetical order after you look at monster. And so I'm looking for Medusa. Here's Medusa. Here are some words that are associated with this card. So it's misunderstood, persecuted, victim blaming. So not only is there a small blurb like her story, the card meaning, but her advice. So lots of cool stuff in here. You even get, it's basically a call to action sort of message, which I kind of appreciate for a single card draw. Where in the carousels my back hurts? That's a really good question, Sean. I don't want it to be in the carousel because I don't want you guys to suffer like me. Okay, so here are some of the other cards. We have La Llorona. Not all of them, by the way, are monsters. So you'll see here, I hope you can see the different colors. We have like this mauve, purpley color, and the turquoise and gold. So those are all symbolic of what, if it's a heroine, a monster, or a goddess. And again, multicultural. So you'll get a ton of different kinds of stories and myths and creatures and significant figures from everywhere. Personally, I love Pesta. I love the monster cards. I'm not going to lie. They're like some of my favorite. We have Arianrod. Oh, God. See, I have I have a feeling this might be Celtic, but maybe I'm wrong. Look at that, though. It's a beautiful card. We have Itzapatl, an Aztec goddess. I at least know this is Aztec. Here we have the Kane. Beautiful art. So I actually do follow the artist, which every time I'm trying to remember who the artist is, I always forget because, as Sean knows, my memory is really bad. Oh no, I can't remember. This is so horrible. Anyway, I'll remember it by the end. Atargatis, First Mermaid, Syrian goddess. Here we have Draupadi. I believe this is an Indian or maybe even an Arabic heroine. The Corn Mother from Cherokee mythology. This one's interesting. Amba, who's also known as Shikandi. Huitaka. Beautiful card. It's so ominous, like that almost owl-like face. And then here we have Amaterasu, the Japanese goddess, very, very significant goddess in Shinto mythology. Sky woman, a heroine. So lots of really cool art and cool figures. There's a ton of figures in here I've never heard of before that I've specifically gone to find. Perkta, the Morrigan. Oh man. So check this one out. I love this particular Oracle deck. It is the Women of Myth Oracle deck. And you can also check out the actual book that's associated with it to learn more about every single one of these goddesses. And at least it's inspired me to go explore some of these goddesses too and their stories. It's really, really fun and yeah, fantastic. All right, sorry, I need to read all of the things. Sean says, my neck is bothering me today, but overall I'm doing good. You have been doing awesome, Sean, with all of the health stuff you've been going through. It sounds like you've just been like kicking all the butts. So I'm really proud of you. I'm especially you've chatted with us for a very long time. It's probably been like a year and a half, maybe longer. And you've been a follower here, which is awesome. Thank you so much for your support. But it's been really cool to see like you've been making a lot of strides as far as like your well-being. So that's wonderful. I'm so happy for you. Okay, so next on the list today, we have, oh yes, I haven't gone over this card. I have a surprise. I have a ton of cards that are all associated with mythology or gods and stuff like that. So this also applies with this particular Oracle deck. It's called the Deep, Dark, and Dangerous Oracle. But what is really cool about this one, this is by Stacey DeMarco, who also does a Halloween Oracle, which I also own. But one thing that's cool is this particular Oracle deck is specifically about doing shadow work. That doesn't mean being evil. It just talks about like some of the applications of just being a little more introspective and some of the things that maybe you need to do for yourself inwardly versus like how you project outwardly, which is very, very cool. There's been a kind of this surplus of more shadow work Oracle decks coming out, but Stacey DeMarco has been around for a really long time. So I really appreciate her lens and her perspective on shadow work itself. I love the back of the cards. They're super cool. Like, who does not like a cool snake? So it also has this really cool red shiny bit. I'm a sucker for shiny things. I might have been a crow in a past life. But anyway, this is a really cool deck. And one thing that Stacey DeMarco does that is very, very, very her, you'll notice just her style of Oracle decks, is you'll see that she uses a lot of mixed media, so like photography, illustrations, all kind of collaged together. So I apologize. I cannot, for the life of me, do Gaelic, Celtic pronunciations, and I'm not going to try. I am not sorry about that because I don't want to sound totally dumb. But here we go. This is a beautiful card, definitely in Celtic mythology. So there's a mix of monsters, gods that are all kind of more towards the dark spectrum of things. Most of these are European, so there's some Greek mythology. There's a few Hindu gods in here. I think Kali's in here. But there's also some Egyptian gods, but most of the cards are going to be like Greek, Celtic. I think even a few are Norse. So we have Mithras. Oh, Sean says, next week the old lady is on vacation. We're going to several state parks to walk and hike, the museum, some glamping, and who knows what other trouble we'll get into. Shiny, glittery, metallic, all of those things for me too. Yay, crows unite, crow people. That's really awesome. That sounds like a really fun adventure that you guys are going on. I am happy for you. Are you guys going to go super far, or are you going to stay pretty local as far as all of those things go, like state? I really want to go to Yellowstone. That's kind of on my list of things to do. Maybe this year, we'll see. All right, so we have Persephone, and you'll see Hades, creepy Grim Reaper in the background. It's kind of hilarious, actually. But I love the doorway. You can see springtime and Persephone holding the pomegranate. We have a Kate Sith. I know how to pronounce that. I'm pretty sure. That's the one I can. We have Fetch. I know this is a monster from some sort of myth or a set of myths. We have the Kusith. Looks like a foresty dog. We have a Sphinx. And you'll notice this is actually my favorite card in here. So the Kraken, beautiful like concept here. But you will see we have Kraken, and we'll also see like a word above. So it says mystery. If you wanted to do like a continuous reading without lifting, going into the guidebook, you kind of can with this particular Oracle deck, just because they do have the words, like the buzzwords in there. I personally like that. Thank you, Daniel, for the follow. I really appreciate it. Make sure to give us a comment too. Where are you watching from? So I personally like the little tags at the sorry, I'm having a technical issue. I like the tags on the very, very bottom, just so that I can actually, create some more questions for myself, or maybe some answers. It might spurn some more creative thought. Anyway, we have Cerberus, which is the guardian, of course. What a precious, precious child. We have, nope, can't pronounce that, but wow. That's such a cool illustration. The Morgan. Anubis, of course. He looks like, I'm not going to lie, like a really cool Power Ranger. I didn't mean to ruin that for anybody, but I was getting Power Ranger vibes. Kali, love Kali. Big on that whole destruction thing. Karen. And then one more here. We have the Minotaur, who scares me. So Sean says locals staying here in Texas. The state parks will just be day trips. We might even find some junk shops to walk around to get some of that old junk to add to the junk we already have. I know that feeling. I love junk shops. They're so much fun. I think that's awesome. And I'm glad you guys are going on this really spectacular adventure together. I think you are definitely owed that. You've had a lot of stuff going on. So I'm glad you're going to do something really, really fun. All right. So the final thing I'm going to share with you today, because I am starving, I'll share this one. This one's a really cute single card draw sort of Oracle deck. This one surprised me. I got this one as a gift, and originally it wasn't screaming, like there were parts that were screaming me. Like I like this kind of like little bit of a gothic art style with the rainbows and like in the earthiness, but also like a little dark. But I wasn't really sure about it. So you'll see here, this is our guidebook. It is the tiniest guidebook. It's maybe like 12 pages long. So I like this one because it's really loose in its interpretation of the cards, and it really allows you to interpret them however you want, rather than telling you this is how you should feel. And sometimes it gets really frustrating with tarot cards. Here's the back. I love the old lady blanket vibe here. It's my favorite. I thought that the cards were just this part, but they are not. They are the whole flowery bit. So first of all, let me share with you the cards, and then I'll break them down for you because that's the easiest way to do it. They're kind of large. They're very nice, the quality, and there's quite a few cards in this deck, especially compared to this tiny guidebook. So here's what this looks like. Actually, here. So this is one of the cards. It says on the bottom, an honest and unique offering is appreciated. I adore my differences. They make me one of a kind. So that's not just it. What you do is you look at this guidebook and you analyze the actual photo in here. So we have different symbols in the card. So for instance, we have, I've got that all backwards. we have like flowers. Obviously, we have a squirrel. That's pretty notable in here. Rainbows. There's a lot of stuff in here. And she's also got like this interest. There's like a star earring or a moon. So there's a lot of these little tiny symbols that you might see. You go through here and let's see. Let me see if I can find moon. So we have moon at the very top here. New phase, illumination, the ebb and flow of life, the divine, feminine, mystical energy. You can also combine this with rainbow, which is right down below. It says chakras, a bridge between worlds, happiness, vibrancy, blessings on the way. So you can combine all of those feels and kind of create your own reading for yourself. It's not just the symbols inside the cards. There's even like what kind of colors are primarily used in the cards. And what that actually means, the direction of the wilder ones. So are the wilder ones looking at you? Are they walking away? Are their backs towards you? So there's different versions of what that all means. And and it's really all up to you. What does that mean for you? So let me show you the rest of these cards because they're really interesting and really, really cute. So especially for single card draws, this is what is brewed will boil. So you'll see lots of symbols in there, even like a mandrake root, feather, like a heart, mushrooms, keys, so many cute things. So I was just shocked because this particular deck is like, it's very whimsical, very colorful, very fairy-like. And the art is super different. It's just interesting. And this is a small business as well. The person who illustrated all of these is the same person that came up with the actual guidebook too. I think that takes a lot of skill to be able to do both and a lot of time. So I really appreciate that. And there's a lot of cute stuff in here. Fairies in particular, if you love fairy lore, they like to hide. And I like that they've taken like fairy lore and the fact that fairies like to camouflage and they don't like to be upfront. That message is definitely relayed in this deck because you have to investigate and see for yourself what this means for you. They're not going to tell you. So this is kind of what this deck looks like. Very different and unique. All right, Sean says, it's small, similar to the Bible, where each church loosely interprets it their own way. Well, yes, I do proofread after I hit send. I also proofread after I hit send. Yeah, no, it's kind of like that. I personally like looser interpretations because I think that makes the most sense. I don't think you can know everything. And, I like that. So, yeah, the squirrel is pretty great, Daniel. I don't see a lot of squirrels and stuff, so I really appreciate it. So this is the Wilder Ones Oracle deck. It's really cool. I really like just the looseness of it. I like that it doesn't tell you what to do necessarily or how to feel. And it's just a really great, if you want to do a single card read and ask something like, what are some messages that I need to receive today? Super easy. You get some messages and only you are going to be able to understand what those messages mean versus the cards telling you how to feel. Anyway, check this one out. That's $21.96. Thank you so much, Richard, for doing all of this stuff for me. I feel so grateful because I'm really bad at it. I'm trying really hard not to be. Because Richard is awesome in marketing for me, I'll try to do it myself. Please follow us at Dark Side of the Library if you enjoy witchy stuff, tarot cards, oracle decks, Halloween aesthetic. But you can also join us here on all of our socials. So we've got Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and of course, Amazon Live. We have a podcast, though, that we talk about dark books. So we curate a ton of dark books and we present them to you so you know what you can put on your TBR. So you can join us at Dark Side of the Library there. We'd love to see you over there too. So thank you so much for those of you who have joined me today, Sean and of course Richard. And thank you, Daniel, for joining us as well. And I have somebody else as I think, oh, Robinson too. Thank you for catching me on some of the holidays. That was really nice of you. And yeah, so we'll see you in the next live stream. Thanks so much and have a fantastic rest of your week.